This is the story of how my family immigrated to San Francisco. During the 1920s, my grandfather on my mother's side, Ging Chuk Lee Yi, came to San Francisco at the age of 18. He worked at a laundromat that was also originally a photo studio, Studio 7, for a couple of years. And then he went back to China. After serving in World War II, my grandfather Ging married Su Sum Lee Yi. And with their first child, Nancy, they traveled to San Francisco by plane. They decided to go to America for a better life and to escape communism. In 1956, they all settled in the Sunset District of San Francisco. My grandparents also ended up running the laundromat that is still today there in the Sunset District. And my grandmother is still living in that same house. Parents on my father's side had a bit of a different immigration story. My grandmother, Chu Po Chang, came to America in 1954 with my Aunt Rose and my father, Daniel. She and my grandfather decided to come separately because my grandfather, Sun Tong Chang, was a seaman. He came to America in the later 1954. When he arrived in the United States, he wasn't a citizen yet, and he decided not to take the citizen test. When my grandfather was caught a couple of years later and living without a green card, he hired a lawyer to help him stay in America and fight for his freedom. After that, my father's family settled in the Richmond district of San Francisco. My parents first met when they were both in high school at Lowell High School, San Francisco, and later married on October 14, 1989. So there's my mom and my dad. 3 years later, they gave birth to their first of 4 children, Brandon, and in 1994, their second child, Alex. In 1996, their third child, me, Catherine. And in 1998, their fourth child, Evan. And here is my family on Christmas a couple years ago. And here is my immediate family at my aunt's wedding 10 years ago. And that's how my family immigrated to San Francisco.